Okay, I'm just gonna give you guys a summary. Okay, Quinn made a React video. It's an hour and 7 minutes. Guys, I I just don't. No, I'm good. I really enjoy Quinn's content. I'm subscribed. He's very entertaining. I saw like 20 minutes of this video just to kind of get the gist of it, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm good. Basically, this dude, I don't really know who he is, but apparently he's all in Elon's DMs, and basically they played like Diablo together, and they exchanged some conversations about Diablo and Path of Exile. And Elon is like, yeah, of course they're boosted, because, well, that's how you have to compete. They're all doing that. And he's kind of referring to PoE 2, I believe, in that context. Now you have to walk that back a little bit and understand that in terms of the actual games that Elon himself has played, it seems like he has actually played a lot of Diablo. Boosted or not, I don't... Yeah, whatever. He has actually played a lot of Diablo. He just has. So in the world of Diablo, the whole boosting thing, it's like a lot softer. In Diablo 3, people were botting to get higher paragons to then compete for the ladder. And like a lot of people were doing this. Like a lot. Top leaderboard players was like only these people. Like botting paragons in Diablo 3. And some people were doing it so egregiously that it was just impossible to ignore. In Diablo 4, it's still a thing. RMT is big in Diablo 4. The whole like ethical acquisition of power and loot, it is unfortunately a lot more tainted in the Diablo verse. And I don't exactly know why, but yeah, like the most popular Diablo streamers, they help their viewers to clear the bosses. So they basically, like, you know, when I do the bosses with the viewers, I basically tell people to bring a quarter of the mats, like a bring your own beer situation. And what happens is they don't really do that, and I end up putting like half the mats of everything we do, and I get screwed. But that's fine, because it's a game, and it's not that competitive, and we're playing for fun. Okay? Now, most like top Diablo players either RMT like crazy, or trade like crazy. Like a few of them are ethical, but yeah, they're just like insanely playing the market. And the other category is like streamers that help their viewers kill bosses, like literally every waking moment for like 3 days straight. And it's like, oh guys, look, here's my collection of 50 grandfathers. This one rolled pretty well. It's like, yeah, it's like not... You cannot farm that amount of loot. Now, if the content is ridiculously hard, you can, in some cases, argue that you are, like, helping your viewers get a kill. That's maybe a lot more true on, like, the first day of the game, maybe the second day of the game. But people who play Diablo are literally doing this the entire season. Like, literally, like, 3 months, okay? Like, these are obvious handouts, obviously unethical, all that kind of stuff. And in this video, through this dude's DMs, it's kind of insinuated that, generally speaking, there's a lot of unethical behavior that goes into getting a top time on like a pit clear or content equivalent in Diablo 4. And that's... I don't have first-hand experience, but there's so much of this crap that I definitely believe that, okay? So when Elon starts playing PoE 2, he basically assumes that this is happening in PoE 2. And you know what? It probably is happening in PoE 2. But again, I am not familiar with how that takes place in PoE 2. The difference is that in PoE and PoE 2, by extension, there is a large skill element. It's a large skill element. And also, most of the competitiveness happens in solo self-found. So not a trading league. So it's impossible to get handouts. And the people that, not usually, always, the people that always land on top of the ladder in Path of Exile 2, not 99% of the time, 100% of the time. 100% of the top players in Path of Exile and Path of Exile 2, they're basically streaming what they're doing the whole time. Okay? So the people that are boosting, the people that are RMTing and all that kind of stuff, they're actually not winning, even through that. That's just kind of how it works out for whatever reason. But Elon, coming from the Diablo sphere, he basically assumes that anyone that's beating him or beating whatever boosters or any of that kind of stuff, they're also boosting, because that's just what happens. And again, it's a bit of a mix. Quin likes to play it like, you know, all the people at the top are like ethical or whatever. The very, very top, he's correct. But I think when you go a little bit lower, it's, you know, it's probably a mix. It's probably a mix. So yeah, basically Elon's like, well, everyone's doing it. They're just boosting. So yeah, presumably going from that to streaming him playing content, well, yeah, surprising to nobody. Generally speaking, the first few videos on the topic, they were just really funny. This is like investigative journalism, right? It's like, bro, okay, it's not that funny. Now I'm explaining it so you guys understand it, but you know, the fun has died, guys. The fun has been killed. So I'm not gonna react to like the whole hour long video. Okay, guys, it's not gonna happen. There is just another little bit here that I want to kind of emphasize. Generally speaking, what makes the Elon situation a little bit more ridiculous than it really ought to be is that Elon is keeping these gamer achievements like a chip on his shoulder all of the time. Like, oh, I'm such a gamer, I'm the best gamer, I'm the best at these games, you know, all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, number one, I'm number one. But like, you know, if there's DMs where you're talking about boosters and stuff, of course, and all that kind of stuff. Careful, my check. I don't have a check mark. It's obviously in bad taste. Okay. Most of the respectable achievements in the gaming sphere are entirely in the open, and there is little or no question to how it was done and how ethical it was in regards to completing it, you know, with the person that's showing it off. So yes, it's just, you know, it doesn't really change anything, but it does add a little bit more context to the situation. And honestly, from my perspective of, you know, having some knowledge about, you know, both Diablo and PoE, I can kind of see where like Elon is coming from, but again, it doesn't really make it any less pathetic. Yeah, you know, the way that I see it is, yeah, if you're not allowed to do this, by the way, but yeah, if you're like boosting and RMTing and all that kind of stuff, and then you're doing that to compete with the leaderboard, and a few other people are doing that as well, and sure, maybe your boosters are better than their boosters, and you win the booster war, fantastic. Does that make you the best player of that game? No, it doesn't. Okay? Like, you know, going back to like PoE 2, you know, you're a better player if you can beat the Act 2 boss with mace skills than if you play a fully decked out character in a not difficult, you know, level 18 map or whatever, right? And people that play that game know this. It's just so sad. It's just so pathetic, basically, is the full story of it. Alright, so there you have it. I'm sure it's not the end. Farmer Quin over here is going to be farming Elon's longer than I can manage to. And, well, I hope at least he gets some joy out of it.